Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Stupid Bitcoin. Right, we're kicking off the very first podcast, and I'm a little bit shy in front of the camera, so, spare me that thing, and I don't know how am I gonna do, but let's not even think about that. What am I going to do? But first of all, Stupid Bitcoin is here. I've been updating you guys for the past 2 years, and I thought that let's actually emerge into something else. The channel is just too boring with technical analysis. Let's do more because cryptocurrency is more. It's more than technical analysis. The reason why I created Stupid Bitcoin is because, number one, Bitcoin is stupid. It is actually very, very stupid. It's a stupid coin. And secondly, is because I said so. If I say that Bitcoin is stupid, then it actually means that Bitcoin is stupid. Okay. Number three is that they say that if you want to see a change in something, then you can be the change. And I wanted a change with all these channels out there to talk more useful information. All these gurus, some of them are good, but a lot of people are not telling you things that you should know. And maybe I should be telling you this. So I'm bringing the change in here. And finally, maybe, what was the last point? I don't know. It's out of my mind. I actually had a script. As I told you, I'm nervous. It's for the first time on the camera. Can I really remember? Anyways, never mind. Well, when I was a kid, I used to love candies. And the reason why I love candies and whatnot, I'm going to tell you. But first, let's talk about Pepe, and then we're going to get back into why I enjoy candy as a kid. Getting into the Pepe technical analysis, and before we get into the podcast back again, and I'm going to set the tone of this podcast so that I can talk about meme coins in the future. And, Pepe right now, if you know about Pepe, you may know about Bonk. You may know about Peanut getting listed. You may know about Floki. All these meme coins, before they were on Binance, they used to be on a secret exchange and something like that. So I want to bring these secrets to you. How do you get these coins early before they get listed on Binance in the next coming episode? So if you're not subscribed, because the next coming episodes are going to be super informative and you're going to learn something new that you've never learned before, that I want to share with you for the past 1 or 2 years that I've been learning for absolutely free, do make sure you're following me and turn on the notification for Stupid Bitcoin podcast coming on. I'm going to be releasing them probably on Sundays, and you guys can watch those videos and you're going to love them. And Pepe here, if I have to be lying, I'm going to say that Pepe is going to move up to 6,000 all of a sudden. And if I have to be if I have to set clear expectations, then you are going to move and have a correction and then go back up to make another new all-time high in the future. You will take a break. You will catch a little bit of a breath. Let's make it normal. Let's normalize things. And I've told you in yesterday's update as well. The COINBASE listing, yes, it's amazing. And as a matter of fact, it was powerful. Hell yeah, it was powerful. Look at how many crypto that has not moved. Pepe, you cannot say the same about Pepe. Pepe has moved. Pepe broke the previous all-time record and made a new all-time high. And that is just one strong statement already been made right here. And as any resistance that always get broken, they always get retested. And the best place to retest this is number one on the 4-hour time frame. And number two, it is going to be on the daily time frame, right? So what I'm going to do is, again, I'm going to bring this just like that. And here's your previous all-time high, which was created back in May 2024. And now you have broken above it and you're looking for that little bit of a retracement down and then probably go up. Keep in mind one thing, right? It is not just Pepe that needs a correction. Right now, even on the RSI, look at the RSI. It is really, really overbought right now. So if I'm just going to go on the RSI, take the trend line and drop the trend line right there. And you can see that it is actually at the very same place that Pepe has always been sold over previous so many times. It has been sold over here, 2, 3, 4, and then the 5th time as well. And one more thing is also on the daily, I'm pretty sure that the daily could have been overbought as well. So we're going to shift into the daily time frame just like that and get in here and look at that, right? So Pepe, again, even on the daily time frame, is pretty much
pretty much on the overbought department. There's a little bit of a gap just to touch it, but I'll still say it's pretty overbought right now. The next thing is that the candle show that you have a shooting star. So shooting star candles are reversal candle. And when you see a shooting star like this, it really means that it's time to reverse a little bit to the downside as well. So my personal take is a retest of the previous all-time high. Now, to add one more thing about the retest, I want to show you Bitcoin because Bitcoin is important, and it's the Bitcoin future CME gap. I'm going to open up this future gap right there, and you can see it is as clear as the moon that you have the gap right over there. And it does look like Bitcoin is also on the verge to retrace down to fill this gap at $77,000. So let's actually check Bitcoin, because Bitcoin is going to influence the market as well. And you can see that even Bitcoin is making these bearish candles on the daily, which is actually what? Bearish engulfing. So you have the green and the red. It's a bearish engulfing candle. And these candles, take them very, very, very seriously, right? Really seriously. These are small little signal into the future. And this is the beauty of candle. Just candlestick reading alone can give you the hint of what is about to happen in the future. So I'm just going to go on the 4-hour time frame as well and zoom just out a little bit. And in here with Bitcoin, I'm pretty sure that you can see how big of a bearish divergence you have right now. The prices were climbing up, and then the prices are moving down on the RSI. That shows lack of momentum. And what is momentum? Momentum is just speed, right? It's velocity. So it's decreasing. The buyers have decreased. Sellers have stepped in. And that's why the divergence gets created. So with Pepe, once again, I personally believe that you're going to be looking at the retest of previous all-time high. And that's going to be nearly 1634, 1700, exactly where you just broke out of. Do we have any pattern on the 15 minutes time frame? Let's try to check it out. And maybe we can try to get another little bit of a hint. I'm going to take the trend line and drop the trend line just like that. And I think we're trying to create a descending triangle at the moment. So you can see this descending triangle is coming to a maximum time we're looking forward to is going to be 15 November, which is actually today. And if you do pop down below, right? So from there to there, so listen to this very, very, very carefully, right? If you break down, then you're going to go all the way to nearly 1584. It's a technical target of a triangle. And that depends if you do this breakdown, retest, and then you go down, right? That is how things are going to play out. And if you break up, if you do something like this, there are a few scenarios. You may make a fake out and then go back up, right? You may break to the downside, to the upside, and then actually fall down with a fake out here. That's another scenario. Or just break above, retest, and actually go all the way to the upside. There are 4 things that I've already told you in this one technical analysis, which is going to be important. Again, the maximum time you're going to have to wait is the next 24 hours for this move. And let's go back into the podcast and let me tell you why I loved candies as a kid.
Now, the reason why I love candies is because I was a kid. Damn, it's pretty obvious. Every child loves candies. It's not rocket science in here. So I used to love candies and eat candies up to such an extent that one day in the middle of the night, I had a hole in my tooth, right? I eat a lot of candies that I had, I think it's called tooth decay, and it hurts a lot. When you have a hole in your tooth, that thing really, really hurts. I mean, I don't know if you guys have ever had any injury in your tooth. So that's the first time, if you do not know, I had an injury on my tooth. I was a pretty weird kid when I was a kid. And in the middle of the night, my father woke up and came up to me, and he was worried. My father was working the whole day, the whole shift, and the last thing he wants to do is in the middle of the night actually come up to me and, look after me for what am I doing, and he wants to rest, of course. And I couldn't speak. I couldn't tell my dad what is going on with me. And then he suddenly figured out that I have a hole in my tooth. Actually didn't figure it out, but he knew that I had something going on with me in my mouth. And at that time, 3 a.m. in the morning, it was really difficult to call any taxi. And my father had to contact some of his friends. His friend contacted some of their friends. And then eventually they had a taxi, they booked a taxi, they came to me, and they took me to the hospital in the middle of the night. And we had a visit to the dentist. When I went to the dentist, and his clinic was absolutely awesome. It was clean, it was aesthetic, everything about it was neat and clean. It's just how dentists work and how a clinic should actually be. And that atmosphere caught, there was something about it that really inspired me. Well, finally, it's time to remove the tooth. I was laid down on the bed, and the dentist, actually came up to me, and with his soothing voice, he told me, "You know what? Don't worry. Everything is going to be all right. All you have to do is chill and relax, and we're going to get a tooth out. All you have to do is you just have to calm down." At the back of my head, by the way he was saying these words, the way he was speaking to me, I felt really amazing. I felt like, wow, if you say so, if you say that I'm going to be okay, that actually means I'm going to be okay. And for some time, I even forgot my pain in my tooth with just how good looking he was. He had a nice personality. He was suited up, neat and clean. He had an iron clothes. I still remember the details, but we're not going to get into that one. Well, finally, the tooth was actually removed, and it was time for me to go back home. In 2015, time was passing by very, very quickly, and I was 16 years old, ready to go to college. At that time, we had a family meeting. The family meeting here was for me, and the meeting was about my future, my career, and what I'm going to choose for college. And I was 16 years old, and according to my research, this is Adam Coin research. It's not a career, advice. It's not a career advice. Just like we say, it's not a financial advice. But my research says that when you're 16 years old, the decision that you take in life actually is the decision that you become. Whatever you decide to be at 16 years old, you become that thing. When you're a child, you grow up, you think a lot of things. You want to be this, you want to be that, and that. And then eventually when you grow up, it's a whole different perspective. Now, back into the family meeting, keep in mind, I want to tell you the scenario. I'm the smallest one, and everyone there's elders, and we have like 6-7 people in the family, or everyone is elder than me. And then we had maybe relatives as well who came up for the meeting, and they told me that we want you to have your own decision in life, and I want you to be careful about your decision. My family knows that I wanted to become a dentist because when I was a child, I went to the dentist and the whole story, right? So they thought that I'm passionate about becoming a dentist. Now, I was a big fan of WWE at that time, and my family used to allow me only 2 hours to watch the WWE. 2 hours. And it's not daily. 2 hours in 1 week. In every 7 days, I can watch wrestling just for 2 hours. That's all. Not more than that. Right? We had very strict parental guidance, control back in those days. Now it's different. Everyone uses the phone, whatever. And I wanted to watch the WWE. I wanted a way to get to computer. I wanted a way to have my time with computers. And fast forward to that family meeting, it is time. All eyes are on me. The spotlight is on me. And I have to say it.
I want to become a computer engineer.
As soon as those words came out of my mouth, everyone was silent for a while because it was almost like there's a plot twist into what they were expecting. They were expecting dentist, and I said computer. And for some reason, my heart was pounding, and thank goodness I didn't sleep out dentist, because if I would say that, then they would have been like, this guy's confused himself. One of the family members said, especially the elder one, was like, do you know you have to use computer all the time, okay? If you're going to choose computers, you will get a computer and you'll have to use computer all the time. And that's exactly, deep down, that's exactly what I wanted, right? So I was like, yes, I'll use computer all the time. During that time, in maybe 3, 4, 6 months into computer, learning about computers, I used to learn how to create websites on WordPress. And there was this YouTube channel called Tyler Moore. And Tyler Moore was one of my favorite teachers. And at that time, very few people used to teach WordPress. And I was learning WordPress from him, and I wanted to create an e-commerce website. I wanted to create also blog posts and whatnot. So Tyler Moore here. And Tyler Moore was teaching the whatever he was teaching with WordPress. And there was one website called SEO Clerk. So SEO Clerk is the modern time Fiverr. If you go to Fiverr and you watch Fiverr, they have gigs. And in all these gigs, you have a $5 services, you have $10 services, and you can order whatever you want. So SEO Clerk was the modern time Fiverr. And I wanted some SEO services. You could buy YouTube views, Facebook comments, Instagram likes and comments, all that good stuff back in the days. And as soon as I added the things and the services that I wanted into the cart, it is time for me to check out. On the checkout page, we had just a normal checkouts like Visa, credit card, debit card, MasterCard. And finally, I saw this one weird yellowish logo with a B on it, and it was called Bitcoin with a long string of words. And that really caught my eyes because it was different. The contrast was there, right? The contrast was there. I don't know what kind of a payment method this really is. This is something new. And I had to go to Google and search about Bitcoin. And as soon as I was searching about Bitcoin, I saw Bitcoin at $500. $500, 2015 we're talking about. You may be surprised that it's $500 and it is super cheap, because right now Bitcoin, as we talk, Bitcoin is at $92,000. But for me, that was still surprising that at $500, this is Bitcoin at $500. No way, this is actually going to be a scam. And I just close it, ignore everything, walk away. It's just like saying XRP is at $500 or Cardano is at $500 actually. But that thing had an impression at the back of my head subconsciously. Anyways, I just closed the thing, did my checkout, and walked away. In 2017, we had the second semester calculus final examination. After giving the papers, we gathered up. We were so many friends, and we gathered up. We were discussing about the paper. We were asking each other, hey, what did you do in the paper? What kind of question did you answer? Was it option A? Was it option B? And some of them, the old thing that we used to do, we used to have calculators to confirm an answer. Even if it's 1 + 1, we still have to confirm on the one on this calculator if it's 2 or not, because we're really nervous during final examination. Now, I thought that people were going to talk about the exam. To my surprise, most of the people in my university were talking about crypto and Bitcoin especially. Now, as I was walking around, I was near the library corridor, and there were some other classmates that were talking, and I was listening to them. I wanted to talk about something to them about the papers. When I approached them, they were already discussing about Bitcoin, and one of the guy goes and says, I told my father to buy Bitcoin. He didn't listen to me. It was cheap at that time. We could have got 10 Bitcoin. It was just almost $1,000. Now it's at $8,000. Oh man, elders think that we young people are stupid. That's what he was saying. And I heard him, and he saw it at $1,000. I saw it at $500 a couple of years ago. And then I left that place, and I had another friend of mine. We sit and had a chat again about Bitcoin. And then he told me that he knew a lot about crypto, more than me. And he told me that, you know what, we have more cryptos. It's not just crypto. It's not just Bitcoin. We have more coins. You can get cheaper coins if you missed Bitcoin. And my goodness, I love that guy, because I didn't knew that. I didn't knew there was any other coin I can invest in. So I had to go home, research about more cryptocurrencies, and I saw for the first time Ethereum. So Ethereum is pretty much my first love, okay? I sold my DSLR, and I went on to buy Ethereum for $400, and I got one Ethereum. But the journey of getting to buy Ethereum was really difficult. I had to contact several people in my local area, and I finally found one. I visited his factory. In his factory, he had mining rigs. And let me tell you this, that person, the seller, he used to mine almost 1 Bitcoin every 1 or 2 months. Every 1 or 2 months, 1 Bitcoin through mining rigs. He had a lot of them. He had a huge setup of mining rigs. Due to the difficulty of buying Ethereum, the difficulties that I was facing, I knew that other people in my local area are going to find it very difficult. And I had to create a group called Ethereum PK. And that's where I think I was 19 years old at that time. And I started guiding people on crypto. I used to write articles, talk about future moves. I've made incredible predictions as well, just like as follows, Bitcoin going back to the all-time high back in those days when Bitcoin was at $8,000, predicting it's going to go to $20,000. I've made, Dogecoin prediction. I've even actually picked up Binance as that coin that you can invest $100 and get $1,000 and make a 10x, right? That was my start of taking interest in cryptocurrency as well. And then Dogecoin. Speaking of Dogecoin, it's a meme coin, right? It was created to taunt, to make fun or poke Bitcoin. And meme coin is fun. We must be entertained somehow. And the community love Dogecoin. The community love meme coin, sharing meme and whatnot. And by that, we come to a ending of this very first episode, just a very normal episode to get things started. But in the next episodes, I want you guys to keep on subscribed because what I'm going to talk about is meme coin. Now, we have seen coin like Peanut being listed on Binance, Bonk being listed on Binance, Pepe being listed on Binance, but most of you guys never got them early. You never got them early before they were listed on Binance. If you would have got them early, you would have bought those coins for a very cheap price and you could have made a ton of money. And people make $100. They turn $100 into $2,000, $1,000 trading meme coins on Solana network and whatnot. The next coming episode is going to be on memes. I think it's going to be 2 to 3 episodes just on meme coin alone. Introduction, what is meme coin, how to trade meme coin, how to check meme coins, how to spot meme coin pumps, and how to look at for meme coins that have potential to be listed on Binance. I was talking about Floki, and Floki even got listed on Binance later on in the future. Well, at least I know a thing or two about meme coins, so I can really help you out with that one. And this one really comes to an end. Amazing. Thank you so much for the support that you guys have been showing up. And yes, I'm really interested to see you into the next coming videos as well. And that's all for this first episode of Stupid Bitcoin. I love this.